Volunteering is just one of the ways Americans come together to address the challenges facing their communities. During a food for thought discussion on May 10, Ambassador Ray encouraged Zimbabweans to do just that.
Simple. You start it by starting. In other words, if you and some of your friends volunteer to do something, it will be seen by others, and over time, and this is where the complex part comes in, because it takes time for this to catch on. Well, we had, as I said, we volunteered. The first problem we ran into in our project was organizations that we offered to volunteer for were suspicious. Why are you doing this?
In remembrance of those who perished on 9/11 and their families, Ambassador Charles Ray led a team of diplomats and embassy staff on a 2-month volunteer mission that assisted over 8 community-based organizations in and around Harare.
This was capped off on November 11th, which is Veterans Day in the U.S., with us joining together with a group of veterans from Bulawayo who paid their own way to Harare to join us at St. Giles to replace broken windows and do repairs. And we had just an absolutely amazing time.
The economic crisis continues to test the United States of America's ability to support vulnerable populations. Leaders across the nation are responding by rallying Americans to use service as a solution in addressing these challenges.
By building a better personal community, a better individual within that community, you're building that future decent politician without having to deal with politics.
Our education system does not prepare us to actually go out into the world and do stuff for people.
In your view and your experience, are corporates here in Zimbabwe doing enough?
What are the economic benefits for a nation of volunteering, and what do you think can that help in our African countries if we inculcate that culture of volunteering?
What can we do in Zimbabwe, living in Zimbabwe, to try and impart such kind of knowledge, such kind of volunteerism among the Zimbabweans?
There are very many people who are willing to do some work, but some of them don't know where the work needs to be done, and some of them are just waiting for somebody or some people to get together. And so I think the issue of communication and access to just sending word out is a very big...
I really think that the main factor behind the desire to work together and help other people comes from the very foundation of our nation. In the United States, from its creation, the notion of the people preceded that of the government. Now, we the people is not just an empty phrase.
In its June 2010 report, the Corporation for National Community Service says 6.3 million Americans volunteered to help their communities in 2009.
Volunteerism is just, it's hardwired in our cultural gene pool. It's an integral part of our society, of our culture, and our economy, and it contributes significantly to the well-being of our citizens.
As stated by President Obama, economic recovery is as much about what you're doing in your communities as what we're doing in Washington, and it's going to take all of us working together.